Hello everyone, how are you? Good, good, good. We are back with another session for chapter number 5 today. I would really request all of you to quickly join in the chat. I just see Shiva is there, Jyoti is there, Ravin is there. What about others? Saturday enjoy kar rahe hai? Quickly type in the chat. Quickly come into the chat and let us start with chapter number 5 today. थोड़ा सा लंबा chapter है, but we will be able to complete it within 2 sessions though. और उसके बाद हम सिर्फ अपने लास्ट चैप्टर विच इज चैप्टर नंबर 3 सिर्फ वही बचेगा फिर. Quickly join in. Let me see who all are joining in. Shiba, how are you? Jyoti, Ravin, how are you? Good to see you guys on time. What about others? We'll just wait for another 30 seconds. Till then, if any questions are there, any doubts are there, please ask those questions. Please ask those doubts. Right? Hey, Sujal, how are you? Come in the chat, right? I see a lot of you are watching, but why aren't you typing? Come into the chat box, ask your questions. Let us have a conversation so that the class is more interesting, so that you can get your doubts clarified, so that you can ask your questions, right? Great. Okay. Let us quickly, without wasting any further time, dive into our session for today, which is your chapter number 5. Right? Let us quickly go into chapter number 5, and from there we will take it up. Hey Ankit, how are you? Is it just hot for me today, or the temperature is like rising everywhere? I think summers are coming everywhere now, right? Maybe just give me 1 second. I'll just switch on the fan and come. I think it's too hot for me right now. I wasn't expecting this to be this hot, right? Just give me 1 second, guys. I will be back. I just need to switch on the fan. Now it's better for me. The temperatures are rising. All right, so let us go into understanding our chapter number 5, right? The class is not showing in the app. Why is it so? I will request the technical team to please check once. Students are saying the class is not showing in the app, and probably that is why they're not able to come to the chat. Can you please check the class is not showing in the app is what students are saying. Probably I've requested the technical team will check now if the class is showing in the app or not. Probably they'll refresh something. Thanks, Jyoti, for pointing it out that the class is not showing in the app. Probably that is why I don't see a lot of you putting up in a chat, right? Chat mein aayega hi kaise if the class is not there in the app. But no worries, let us not waste more time. Technical team, I think in the next 2-3 minutes, they will be able to resolve this. Till then, let us start with आपका chapter number 5, which is again a very simple, very straightforward chapter, right? बहुत ही straightforward chapter है, right? Awesome. So now the class is there in the app is what I have, right? The class is there on the app. If you can quickly go on to the app and we can just chat around, right? I think I have a confirmation from the team that the class is there active now live on the app as well. Quickly go into the app so that we can chat, we can have a conversation, you can ask your questions. I'll just wait for another 30-40 seconds, probably till you guys go to the app and start chatting with me, start having a conversation with me. I'll just wait for 30 seconds, 40 seconds. No problem. I think you guys will join in. Till then, let us start. Probably you guys will come on the class as well. We're going to do chapter number 5. Okay. Chapter number 5 is basically talking about organizations that are facilitating. That means that are helping, right? Facilitating means that are helping businesses. Okay. We're talking about organizations today which are helping businesses. These organizations are government organizations. The organizations we are going to talk about today are government organizations which are helping the businesses, which are facilitating businesses, which are helping the businesses to scale up, to grow, to increase their business, to better their business, to have a fair ground of competition in the country, having easy access to money, having easy access to resources, having equal opportunities, having equal fair competition in the market. It is regulated. They can raise money through the stock market, through the general public, like we have studied listed companies, limited companies, right? Awesome. Now I see a lot of you are on the app. Great. Okay. Now it is showing. Great. Achha, your comments are going with the class is not showing. It will also come probably, right? Hey, Mansi, Bhumika is there, Ayushi, Avni, I see, Pushpa is there, Kushi, Jyoti, Yatiraj. Probably class will also come, right? Class will also come with the chat box also running up. Great. So chapter number 5 is basically about organizations which are going to help businesses. We'll understand ki hota kya, kehna kya chahte hain isme, right? We'll talk about this. But first thing that you need to understand is that a business, right? That a business, be it any business in the country, be it any business in the country, it cannot thrive on its own. It cannot thrive on its own. Thrive means, can it be successful? Can it survive, right? Can it be successful? Can it survive on its own? The answer is no. It needs help, support, and a strong economic environment. Now think about this. If you are a business person, right? If you are, okay, problem is solved now. Awesome. Great. If lecture not shows up and then how to tell you it is not showing, probably, I think you can just put in the chat box or something, right? You can raise a query or something. That also helps. But I think it's now resolved, right? I see Ganesh, Hira is there, Harshita, I see Ankit is there. Great, Barna is there. Awesome. Okay, so can a business thrive? Can it be successful? Can it survive on its own? The answer is a big no. The answer is a big no. It needs help. It needs support. It needs a strong economic environment. Think about this. You are a business person working in Ukraine. You are a business person working in Afghanistan. It is a very tough situation for you, for a business person to even operate in Ukraine or let's say in Afghanistan, right? Why? Because the economic condition, the environment, the political environment, the economic condition, people don't have money. A business career, people are not going to buy stuff from you because it's a war situation. It's a poor economic condition for them, right? That is why a business cannot thrive on its own. You will say that, boss, I have the world's best jeans. I am a manufacturer of jeans, right? I make the best jeans in the world, but my country is at war. My product is zero because I do not have the environment. I do not have an economic environment I can survive. Or if I'm in a very poor country and I make a luxury car product, right? Let's say I'm from a very, very poor country, right? And I am making a luxury car. Ferrari ko competition dene ke liye I'm creating a car. It is not going to be a successful business. Why? Because the economic environment of the country is not that people are going to spend money on a luxury car. Unko khana pani ka paisa nahi hai, right? People don't have the money for food and water. Who is going to buy a luxury product? So same thing. A business cannot thrive on its own. It needs facilitation, help, and support, and a strong economic environment. Right? Help chahiye, support chahiye. Kisse help chahiye? Kisse support chahiye? A business, from whom does it want a support? So kisse help chahiye? Kisse support chahiye? Let us understand that. Okay. Business and business facilitation. Okay. Now, what we have here is, think about this. We have 3 layers. One is point of contact. Number 2 is aids to trade. And number 3 is funding and non-funding institutions. Okay. A business needs help from 3 layers. A business needs help from three types of people, organizations, from three areas. Okay, a business, be it any business, उसको तीन areas से support चाहिए होती है. Number one is point of contact facilitators. Point of contact facilitators are facilitators which are very closely working with your business, which are helping, which are supporting your business day in, day out. Daily आप उनके साथ transactions करते हो. That is point of contact facilitators. Number two level is aids to trade. Aids to trade are organizations, are people, are other businesses, is an environment, an area where you get support on a not a regular basis, on a very broad level, right? बहुत आपके outside of the business, आपके business को चलते रहने के लिए they keep helping you from time to time. Aids to trade help your business, support your business. Support business means business facilitation, support करते हैं, help करते हैं. Second level aids to trade is from time to time they keep helping your business. Funding and non-funding institutions are government institutions, are government organizations that help every business in the country. That is called funding and non-funding institutions. These organizations help every business in the country. वो specific आपके लिए काम नहीं करते हैं. They create an environment that helps every business in the country. Right? 3 levels है जहाँ पे business facilitation. 3 areas, 3 levels at which a business needs help is one, where it has day-to-day transactions, point of contact facilitators. Second is from time to time. कभी कभी जरूरत पड़ती है, जब जरूरत पड़ती है, whenever they need help, whenever they need support. The second layer, aids to trade, come to their rescue, come to their help. Number 3, funding and non-funding institutions, which are government institutions, and these create an environment in the country so that businesses can grow. Funding and non-funding institutions create an environment in the entire country so that businesses can grow. So, उस तरीके से they help support the businesses. Right? Super. The 3 levels, point of contact, aids to trade, and funding, non-funding. This chapter number 5, we are going to go in depth about funding and non-funding institutions, right? Chapter number 5 is focused on third layer. This is focused on third layer. Second or first layer, intermediate level pe karenge, right? The second and first layer, we'll talk more about it at intermediate. Strategic management mein, we will study about this, right? But foundation level pe, we are focusing on funding and non-funding institutions in chapter number 5. Okay? फटाफट से समझते हैं all of these things into with examples. ठीक है? Point of contact facilitators. Point of contact facilitators, first level where the business needs help is point of contact facilitators. Businesses, organizations, people जो आपके साथ daily transaction करते हैं, who are doing daily transactions, right? Business level involvement है. They are involved in your businesses, right? Number 1, logistics provider. Logistics provider means transportation जो करवाते हैं, right? Your logistics provider जो आपके लिए goods from raw material to your factory, from your factory to the shops, right? All these people, all these transportation businesses, all other businesses, all other companies, all other organizations, road बनी हुई है, सब बना हुआ है. All that is your logistics provider, right? Incubators. Incubators are your early stage mentors, right? Incubators are organization, group of individuals. Let's say 3-4 startup founders हैं. Let's say the founder of Byju's, the founder of Cred, the founder of Flipkart. They are helping you to create your business. If they sit down and explain to boss, ऐसा करो, this is how it will benefit, this is how you should create this thing. That is called incubation. Early stage mentorship, early stage help and guidance जो देते हैं, they are called incubators. Those organizations, those institutions where these people help you to scale, to develop your business, that is called incubators. Number 3, financial consultant, like chartered accountants, lawyers, right? All these people help the businesses day in, day out, right? डेली आपका क्लाइंट आपके पास आके बोलता है कि आई वांट दिस हेल्प, जीएसटी में चाहिए, टैक्स में चाहिए, फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग में चाहिए, आई वांट हेल्प टू डेवलप माय प्रोजेक्टेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, आई वांट टू क्रिएट दिस, आई वांट हेल्प इन डेवलपमेंट ऑफ अ सिस्टम, हाउ डू आई क्रिएट दिस थिंग, हाउ डू आई क्रिएट अ प्रोसेस, हाउ डू आई कंट्रोल माय एक्सपेंसेस, हाउ डू आई कंट्रोल माय revenue, how do I expand my revenue, what kind of money I should do, where should I invest my money, my business is making money, where do I invest it, should I reinvest it, should I buy some shares, should I go to this place, should I grow into this city. All of that is done by financial consultants like chartered accountants and lawyers and CFAs and MBAs, right? Those are point of contact facilitators. They are helping, they're supporting the business day in, day out. Merchandiser, people who help design your processes, right? Merchandisers are basically people like, for example, आपका product है, right? You are doing it. You have an Instagram account जहाँ पे you are selling your t-shirts, like you are selling tops or you are selling some women ethnic wear, kurtis, sandals or earrings, कुछ भी बेच रहे हो. But these people, organizations come to you and say, boss, you should focus more on earrings. I will bring those earrings. I will buy it from, let's say I will buy it from Tripura and send it to you in Delhi. You sell from Delhi to all over India. Or some people sitting in Mumbai are telling you, boss, I will design all the products for you. You sell it on your Facebook account, or you sell it in your shop, or you sell it in your store in your local area, right? Those are merchandisers. People who are helping you to create a process, to design your products, to design your entire business. They are called merchandisers. Unko, why are they point of contact? Because they're dealing with you day in, day out, right? Great. Chapter 4 PPT I have uploaded. मैं check कर लूँगा एक बार if it's not there, right? It's fine. Can you please show where to drop questions after class? Manisha, you can log into your live classes ICAI, and वहाँ पे जाके you will see live classes. On the right hand side there is a chat box. You can put your questions there, right? Business accelerator, acceleration का मतलब होता है बढ़ावा देना. To accelerate, car में you accelerate. Same way, business accelerators are people who support you to grow your business, right? Business acceleration, growing your business, taking your business forward, right? Difference between incubator and accelerator. See, incubator is guidance, right? It's about overall guidance. Accelerators are which help you grow faster, right? Incubators are guides, are mentors, right? ये सही है, ये गलत है, right? They guide you. But business accelerators are a part of incubators. They are a part of incubators, but they are more focused on growth, right? कि बड़ा करो काम, बड़ा करो. सिर्फ दिल्ली नहीं, capture all the cities, tier 1 cities. इंदौर चलते हैं, मध्य प्रदेश, आप भोपाल चलते हैं. Let's go and start business there. Let's do in Surat. Let's do in Kolkata. जगह पे let's expand our business. That is business accelerator, right? Merchant banker is a very different thing from merchandiser, right? See, merchandiser and wholesaler are different because merchandiser also talks a lot about designing your portfolio. कि आपकी shop में ज़्यादा ethnic wear रखो. Ethnic wear में भी floral, keep more floral designs in your shop. That is a merchandiser who designs, who sits with you and tells you कि what will sell more. क्या ज़्यादा बिकेगा, customers को क्या ज़्यादा पसंद है. That is a merchandiser. Wholesaler is only saying आपको क्या माल चाहिए. So you want 10,000 pieces? Okay, I will get. You decide what you want. I will provide that good. I will sell that good to you at a wholesale price, but I'm not going to tell you कि क्या खरीदो. Merchandiser guides you, tells you that buy this product. This is selling in the market right now. This is what you should focus on. Ethnic में जाओ या फिर western wear में जाओ. Now girls are wearing a lot of western wear in tier 1, tier 2 cities. A lot of thought process is changing. पहले girls were not wearing western wear. Now go for western wear, right? You like do that ripped jeans बेचो or sell those skinny jeans. Fashion है. So these are merchandisers. They're telling you fashion क्या है, किस तरफ focus करो. Wholesaler is just selling that product, right? Awesome. Let us go on to the next point, that is aids of trade. Bhaiya, aids of trade which help you from time to time, right? Points of contact facilitators are day in, day out, daily transactions where they're helping you. Aids of trade simple hai. Sectoral involvement. That means from time to time help करने आते हैं. Time to time जब आपको help चाहिए तब हम help करेंगे. Daily we don't have transactions. Like banking, like insurance, right? Bank के पास आप कब जाओगे? When you need a loan. when you need a loan for your business, or you need an export import license, you want to do some transaction with a foreign customer, you want dollars, you want pound, right? आपको pound sterling चाहिए, आपको कोई और currency चाहिए. You want to set up a business in Dubai, and Dubai में you want to have a bank account for that. You want registration के लिए जैसे boss open a bank account. So you want banking services. As and when you need them, they will help you. Like banking sector हो गया, like insurance sector. Whenever you need insurance for your business, for yourself, for your goods, for your stock, for your inventory, तब ये काम करने आएंगे, right? Transportation, right? Transportation is logistics is very different from transportation. Okay, transportation is a part of logistics. Logistics is everything: warehousing, movement of goods, right? Your stock inventory कैसे संभालते हैं, कितनी inventory होनी चाहिए, how much inventory and stock should be there in your shop at any given point in time, where should it be kept, how should it be kept, how will it move, who will move it, when will it move. All of those questions के answers are logistics. Transportation is just part of it. You need transportation when there is actual movement of goods. जब आपको माल भेजना है, जब कभी raw material, like for example, you bring stock every 2 months. हर 2 महीने बाद you refresh your stock. So every 2 months बाद you need a transportation thing, right? So that is your aids to trade. Then there is warehousing. Specific people who are helping you in warehousing, right? Those whenever you need a, let's say आपका you're starting a business in, let's say, Haridwar, right? In Haridwar, you have a business, you want to set up a warehouse in Haridwar and then sell to everyone in Uttarakhand or Himachal. You want to cover that area of Himachal and Uttarakhand. You want to put your stock somewhere in Haridwar. So you go to a company which is doing warehousing in Haridwar and you keep that thing there, right? So whenever you need it, whenever you need to grow, whenever you need to decide कि चलो ये करते हैं, these people, these businesses come to aid your trade. To aid means to help your business, to aid your business, to support your business, right? Then real estate. For example, real estate office कहाँ पे खोले, दुकान कहाँ पे खोले, where should I open my shop? If I want to open my shop, a real estate agent will help me कि अरे आप इस एरिया में खोलो. Let's say if you go to Kolkata, you'll say, yeah, Park Street में दुकान खोलो. It's the hottest area where people will come. You go to Mumbai, they'll say, open in South Bombay. Super rich people come there. This is Nariman Point में दुकान खोलो. Even if it's costly, it's going to be a banger business there. Right? So real estate, you come to Delhi, people say, आपका business, open your shop in Lajpat Nagar, or open your shop in Sarojini Nagar. A lot of people are going to come there. It's going to be a hot cake. Your shop, more chances of you being successful, right? Or open, if you want to open a branded store, open in Gurgaon. A lot of people go to Gurgaon for branded shopping. ऐसा करके the real estate agents help your business, support your business, guide your business, and then help you set up that shop, help you set up that business in that area, right? That is real estate. They are helping aids to trade. They are helping your business, right? Time to time, जब भी आपको कुछ करना है, whenever you need their help, they come and help you, right? Okay. Biz is short form for business, right? Pushpa, your biz is business. Exactly. That's what Shark Tank sharks are doing. Sharks are incubators, right? Shark Tank में the sharks were incubators. And their team is, some people will focus on growth. They were business accelerators, right? CS also financial consultant. Absolutely, yes. All those chartered professionals, be it CS, CAs, ICW or CWAs, your cost accountants, your CFAs, MBAs, all those people, lawyers, everyone covered in all that thing, right? Great. So CAs are also aid to trade. They are aid to trade, but they're more at a personal level, right? Day in, day out. CAs के साथ तो businesses need to interact on a daily basis. So they are more of point of contact facilitators, right? They are point of contact facilitators, right? Number 3 पे we have funding and non-funding institutions. Funding and non-funding institutions, which are government institutions. The focus is on the entire economy. The focus is on entire country, right? इसमें कौन आता है? इसमें आता है RBI, इसमें आता है SEBI, your competition commission, then your आपका आता है insurance company, right? Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, and then we will talk about NABARD, which is a development bank, right? Funding and non-funding institutions which are taking care of, which are supporting every business in the economy in the entire country. This is the focus of chapter number 5. चैप्टर नंबर 5 का फोकस ही ये है, फंडिंग एंड नॉन फंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस. इन सब के बारे में, ऑल दीज 5 इंस्टीट्यूशंस वी विल स्टडी इन डिटेल. बट यू अंडरस्टूड दैट दिस इज व्हाट द चैप्टर इज टॉकिंग अबाउट कि बिजनेस फैसिलिटेशन क्या है. हेल्प, बिजनेस को सपोर्ट चाहिए, बिजनेस नीड्स हेल्प, इट नीड्स सपोर्ट, एंड दैट इज व्हाट दीज थिंग्स, these areas, these levels bring on table for the businesses to grow in an economy, to grow in a country through helping logistics, helping in financial consultancy, banking sector helps businesses, insurance sector helps businesses. And then we have very big funding, non-funding government institutions which create a business-worthy environment in the country for the businesses, which create an environment where businesses grow, where businesses develop and function in the economy. These 5 institutions is what we are going to focus on, right? All right, so Vivek Bindra is a business accelerator, more so, Naveen, if you have seen that guy on YouTube, right? He's a business accelerator. He is always focused on growth. Maximize karo, scale karo, right? Superb guy, wears a coat and everything, bada professional lagte hain. I've seen some videos of him. Samriddhi, you're in class 12 and your board exams and foundation exams are clashing. Samriddhi, focus on 12. Foundation तो बाद में भी दे सकते हो. 12 दोबारा कैसे दोगे? So that is what I would say. Probably you should have planned better. But focus on class 12th more now. वो दोबारा नहीं आएगी. Foundation तो you can still give, right? Again, no hurry on that. 12th. Focus on 12 then if it's clashing. Cool. Let us go on to understand these government institutions into non-funding and funding. See, what I'm saying here is non-funding and funding institutions. Okay, funding and non-funding institutions की बात चल रही है. And look at this. Non-funding and this is funding. I bifurcated the government institutions which are facilitating businesses into funding and non-funding. Funding है जहां पे पैसा मिलता है, non-funding है जहां पे पैसा नहीं मिलता है, right? RBI, SEBI, Competition Commission of India, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, they are not giving out money to people, right? RBI ऐसा नहीं है पैसे बांटता है. SEBI is not giving out money to businesses to grow कि आओ मेरे से लोन ले लो, बिजनेस करो, right? Competition Commission is not saying मेरे से पैसे लेके competition करो. IRDA is not saying मेरे से पैसे लेके insurance करवा लो. They are not giving out money. They are not giving out money to the businesses to grow, to support businesses. While funding institutions give out money, they are government institutions which give out money to support businesses. Uske andar we have development banks. We call them development banks like NABARD. We will focus on NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, which is a funding जो पैसा देते हैं businesses को कि ये लो पैसा grow करो. While non-funding institutions do not give money, they just help create an environment. They help create an environment so that businesses can function easily. Okay, great. The first one आपका non-funding में is our RBI, और फटाफट से RBI के बारे में पढ़ते हैं. But before that, any questions, any doubts in the next 30 seconds? Let us clarify the doubts and questions, if any. नहीं है, give me a thumbs up. Tell me it's all clear. Let's move on to the next one. Tell me something so that I know we can move on to the next one, right? And then we'll start with आपका Reserve Bank of India, which is RBI, Reserve Bank of India, right? Give me a yes, give me a question. Tell me if you have any doubts. If not, give me a thumbs up. Tell me to move on. Tell me, हाँ चलो आगे करो. Awesome, Avni. Understood. Great, Pranjal. NABARD to rural banks की apex body होती है ना? No, we'll come to that. Rural banks की रूरल बैंक्स की एपेक्स बॉडी भी आपकी आरबीआई ही होती है. NABARD is a development bank, right? It's one of the biggest development banks, and even development banks come under RBI. Okay, even development banks come under RBI. Is it clear? Give me a yes, give me a no. Write down something, guys. Awesome. All clear, all clear, all clear. Wonderful. Great. Great. आगे मेरे पास चैट. वंडरफुल, इट्स वर्किंग. नॉन फंडिंग सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करता है, फंडिंग मनी मनी प्रोवाइड करता है. पुष्पा, नॉट सर्विसेज, डोंट कंफ्यूज. नॉन फंडिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस आर क्रिएटिंग एन एनवायरनमेंट फॉर बिजनेस ग्रोथ, राइट? एक माहौल बना रहे हैं. दे आर क्रिएटिंग एन एनवायरनमेंट where businesses feel secure, where businesses feel ki, yes, I have the opportunity, I have an equal opportunity to do business in this country, I can grow my business in this country. That environment, that mindset creation is the job of non-funding government institutions, right? We will study how they do that. We will just study how they do that, right? Non-funding institutions are creating an environment, एक माहौल बनाते हैं where people in the country feel, yes, I have the opportunity, I can also do business. Now think about this. In India 2022, in the last 2 months, we have had so many unicorns, so many startups crossing $1 billion valuation because a lot of good environment around business is created in India. Anyone, they're pushing people to start businesses. A lot of state governments are telling people to become entrepreneurs. Now, even the education policy says they have an entrepreneurship like topic in education ki bhai business karo, create employment. Do not focus more on getting a job. Focus more on creating jobs in the country because country is growing massively. Right? There is so much opportunity in India. Go and create jobs. That is what an environment is being created. Right? That is the job of non-funding institutions. Right? Great. Shiva, NABARD is an agriculture sector. जब NABARD पे आएंगे ना, एक very crucial line. I will explain NABARD in one line. आपको एक line में सारा doubt clear हो जाएगा. I have created such a slide for you. Right? If it is an agriculture bank, क्या है, RBI है, apex body है, NABARD पे जब आएंगे एक लाइन में आपको समझा दूंगा. That easy, I have made it for you. Okay. Are funding and non-funding institutions part of government environment or economic environment? They're part of government environment, right? Economic के अंदर बाकी सब नहीं है. जैसे आपका for example, IRDAI might come economic, but it's more of government environment because they're government controlled, right? Absolutely. RBI controls all the banking thing. We'll study that. Absolutely, Khushi. The mock tests done by ICAI, just go to their website. You will have mock test ka link. You can go and apply there. You should give those mock tests, right? Really helpful if they are available in your area. Correct. Let us go to RBI. फटाफट से RBI समझते हैं. Reserve Bank of India है क्या, right? It's the Reserve Bank of India, founded in 1935. Headquarters are in Mumbai, right? The head office of RBI is in Mumbai. Apex body of banking in India. Apex means top most, right? It's the top body of banking in India. Anything related to banking sector, anything related to banks, anything related to banking operations, banking business, RBI controls everything, right? It is the India's central bank that regulates means keeps a check, supervises the entire banking sector of the country. Right? RBI, Reserve Bank of India, को संभालता कौन है? Who works in RBI? RBI affairs are governed by the Central Board of Directors who are appointed by the Government of India in compliance with the RBI Act 1934. There is a Central Board of Directors who operate, who work in RBI, who manage the Reserve Bank of India. They are appointed by the Government of India in compliance with the Reserve Bank of India. Right? That is why we say choose whenever you are able to vote. हम लोग vote को इतना lightly लेते हैं, but understand this thing. Your vote is deciding everything what is happening in the country, right? Because who is appointing the government of India? You and me. We, the citizens of people, are electing the government of India, and the government of India is then appointing the people in RBI, the people in SEBI, the people in Insurance Board, the people in NABARD. All these people who we have elected are then selecting all these, electing, appointing all these people in so big organizations, right? इसीलिए हम लोग को वोट लाइटली नहीं लेना चाहिए. If you think from a macro perspective, right? Be very careful, study your country, study what is happening in the country, and then be an aware citizen, right? That is why it is important कि भाई सब कुछ तो सरकार कर रही है, but सरकार तो आप बना रहे हो, right? That is why you have to be aware. And look at this. RBI, the Central Board of Directors, people who are managing RBI are appointed by the Government of India in compliance with the Reserve Bank of India Act. Okay. Now, what is the role of RBI? RBI करता क्या है? RBI को इतना सारा पावर दे दिया. RBI is the apex body of banking sector in India. करता क्या? काम क्या है उनका? What does it do? Right? What does it do? Right? Sami, that's a very difficult Hindi. इतनी हिंदी तो मुझे भी नहीं आती. कौन सी हिंदी लिखी आपने? अरे नाबार्ड बाद में करेंगे तभी समझ आएगा. पहले कर देंगे कंफ्यूज हो जाओ. Right? Great. So role of RBI. What does RBI do? ठीक है. Very simple. 9 points. 1 मिनट में समझ आ जाएगा. Number 1, develop, strengthen and diversify country's economic and financial structure. Right? देश की इकोनॉमी, जीडीपी कैसी होनी चाहिए, इन्फ्लेशन कितना होना चाहिए, व्हाट शुड बी द इंटरेस्ट रेट, व्हाट शुड बी द इंटरेस्ट रेट इन द कंट्री, इन्फ्लेशन को कैसे कंट्रोल करें, हाउ डू वी कंट्रोल द इन्फ्लेशन, हाउ मच मनी शुड बी इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द पीपल, हाउ मच मनी शुड पीपल हैव एक्सेस टू फॉर देयर बिजनेसेस. इजी लोन कर दे, लोन कम इंटरेस्ट पे मिलना चाहिए, लोन ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट पे मिलना चाहिए, इन्फ्लेशन ज्यादा होनी चाहिए, कम होनी चाहिए, द इन्फ्लेशन शुड बी राइजिंग, इट शुड बी कंट्रोल्ड, how much inflation should be there, how should the economy look like in the next 5 years, should India be growing at 5% or 7%, what is good for us, how can we do that, if 7% pe grow karna hai, how can we do that? RBI decides in terms of through its policies, through its role. ऐसे कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकता. It cannot say कि नहीं 7% तो 7% ही होगा, right? RBI is not the Raja, it is not the apex thing deciding everything for the country. It ensures, it wants to achieve that through its policies, through its rules, through its regulation, right? It maintains economic stability in the country. ऐसा ना हो देश एकदम ही नीचे चला जाए, right? It maintains economic stability. It tries to stable the economy की balance बना रहे. ऐसा ना हो कि एक लोग बहुत अमीर होते जा रहे हैं, बाकी लोग बिल्कुल गरीब होते जा रहे हैं. There should be a proper balance. It tries to achieve that. Right? Controls monetary policy. Monetary policy क्या है? कितना पैसा हाथ में होना चाहिए लोगों के, right? How much money should people have in their hands, right? That is how they control monetary policy. Classic example देता हूँ. So now think about this. Now RBI says gold के bond खरीद लो. RBI says we are selling gold bonds so that you buy gold bond, you give us money, you buy a gold bond. After 8 years, I will give you whatever the rate of gold is. Okay. It is controlling money in the economy. इसने क्या किया? The government says, if I sell gold bonds to public, लोग पैसा invest करेंगे. People will invest money. When they invest money, I take money from their pocket. I take it into my pocket, right? And I have to give this money after 8 years. So 8 साल तक people cannot spend this money, right? If you invest, let's say 1 lakh rupees in gold bond, आपके बैंक से वो पैसा उठ के सरकार के पास चला गया, राइट? एंड द गवर्नमेंट सेज 8 साल बाद जो भी आपका रेट होगा, व्हाटएवर द प्राइस ऑफ द गोल्ड इज, आई विल गिव इट टू यू. फॉर द 8 years you cannot use this money. They have taken this money from you for 8 years. Now you cannot spend this money. This is how it is controlling spending in the economy, so that people spend less. When people spend less, you start controlling the economy. थोड़ा सा उसका interest rate नीचे लेके जाते हैं, right? If they want to if they give out money, they say, "नहीं, there are no bonds now. We don't want any money. Spend all the money. खर्चा करो. they ask they ask the nation, they ask the people, जितना खर्च कर सकते हो, spend as much money as you want. I don't want you to invest any money, so that the economy grows. So that if you spend more businesses will develop, businesses will grow. ज़्यादा खर्चा करोगे, the country will grow in consumption, right? That is how RBI controls things. Think about taxation. Taxation का भी यही logic है. If the tax rate increases, that means more money is taken away from the people. When more money is taken away from the people will spend less. अगर tax rate गिरा दूंगा, let's say a 2% decrease in tax rate. Government says 25% is the tax rate. Today the tax rate is 23%. 2% tax rate कम करने से, when I reduce 2% tax rate, I see that in the economy, overall country में 1 lakh crore rupees are given back to the people, right? So 1 lakh crore rupees, we are collecting less from the people. Those 2% is equal to 1 lakh crore, let's say. Now 1 lakh crore ka people will spend this money. Now 1 lakh crore is the money that people will now spend, and that will increase the economy. So all these policies, all this economic policy, all this economy, right? These are all the things that big governments, finance ministry, RBI, all these people are sitting and doing. This is their work. ये काम करते हैं वो लोग, right? It is advisor to the government on economic and financial policies, right? That is exactly what I was telling. It advises the government. देखो, tax rate कम कर दो, पैसा will give more money to the people so that they spend and the economy grows, right? It represents the country at international economic forums. RBI is representing, जैसे आपके स्कूल में you had head boys, right? Head boy and head girl. Like in your school, you had a head boy prefect, right? RBI on an economic front, when the entire globe is talking about economics, our representation from India is RBI, right? RBI goes and represents that this is what as a country we are doing. This is our vision as a country. This is our mission as a country, right? From an economic perspective, RBI is our representation to the world. Right? It develops adequate and sound banking system. It controls all the banks in the country. HDFC Bank ho, IC private ho, public sector bank ho, private sector bank ho, RBI controls and regulates because banks have money of the public. Bank के पास आम जनता का पैसा है. The bank has money of the general public. They cannot play with that money. ऐसा नहीं है, you like 10,000 crores are there which HDFC कहते हैं अरे मजे आ गए, I got 10,000 crores, let me buy 10 aeroplanes. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. RBI saying because that is private, personal पैसा है लोगों का. You cannot play with that money, right? So it develops adequate and sound banking systems for the growth of money and market so that people have trust in banks. आप secure रहो. You think कि if I'm putting money in my bank, that money is not going anywhere. FD करा दूंगा, fixed deposit करा दूंगा. If I save money in the bank, if I put money in the bank, if my salary is coming into bank, ऐसा नहीं है salary हवा में उड़ जाएगी. If that is in the bank, I get an OTP, I get a message, I got this much money is deposited in the bank, I feel comfortable, I feel safe, right? That is what RBI has to ensure. ऐसा ना लोगों का trust ही हट जाए from banking system, right? It is a friend, it is a philosopher, it is a guide to commercial banks. It controls them, but it also guides them. It's a friend, it's a philosopher, it's a guide to commercial banks. Commercial banks means all the banks in which you and me go to, right? ICAI, SBI, HDFC, Axis Bank, your XYZ, Punjab National, Canada Bank, Bank of Baroda, all these banks, commercial banks. It's a friend, it's a philosopher, and it's a guide. It tells them, boss, ye karo. ऐसे करो, this is how you can do it, this is how you should do it, this is how people will like your bank, this is how you should do this thing, ये सही है, ये गलत है. It's a guide to all those banks, right? It tries to control inflationary trends, the value of money, right? I was telling you, inflation control karna is also the role of RBI to control the inflation so that prices ऐसा ना हो. कल को you wake up and you buy a bread, right? Bread in, let's say you're buying a bread, it's like 30-40 rupees का bread आता है, right? You wake up next morning and you go to the shop and it says, अरे bread आज 500 रुपए की होगी. You're like, boss, कल तो 40 rupees की थी. How is it like 500 now? Like inflation हो गई देश में. 500 times inflation हो गई. That situation does not happen is also what RBI has to control, right? ऐसा ना हो कि बिल्कुल ही value of money has eroded. That आज जो 10 रुपए में मिल रहा है, कल कुछ ना मिले, right? Even though the inflation is there, high inflation right now in India, but it's a good sign for a developing country, right? The people, your salaries are also growing, your business incomes are also growing, right? अभी इससे पहले कभी सुना था 70 company startups having a valuation of 1 billion, right? The businesses are also growing, but it needs to control. अगर यही चलता रहे, it will be a massive hit to the country, but for now it is okay, right? In the short term it's good, long term it might be devastating. It is what RBI has to control. Channelizing credit in priority sector. Like, for example, it is a guide philosopher to the banks. It tells banks what should it do, and that is how they do this. What they say, ki, Arey, give more loans, give cheaper loans to agriculture people, to farmers, to exporters, to small businesses. Small businesses could give easy loans. आधे घंटे में loan मिल जाएगा. You go to HDFC की bank website, you will see there, they write credit loan, business loan in 10 minutes. For if your business is for 5-10 lakh rupees, you have a very small business, you will get a loan in 10 minutes. Right? This is what RBI has told them to help small businesses, help farmers. Banking system में trust banega so that these small individuals, small businesses can also be grown into big business in India. Right? Channelizing credit in priority sector. Priority sector being agriculture, exports, small businesses, women entrepreneurs. Right? Channelize that. Give easy money, give easy loan. That is also what RBI pushes the banks to do, right? So यही role है RBI का. एक बड़ा भाई है which is controlling everything. एक बड़ी बहन है which is controlling everything, telling you what is right, taking care of the house, taking care of the economic condition. It's creating an environment. It's creating an environment, facilitating an environment where businesses feel कि हाँ, if I do business in this country, my business is going to grow. The desh is not going bankrupt right now. Right? Great. Questions now. RBI has its separate act. That's why it doesn't have limited. It's not a company. RBI company थोड़ी ना. Limited क्यों लगाएगी? हर चीज के पीछे limited नहीं लगेगा. Right? Limited is only for companies. Limited is only for companies. RBI is not a company. It's an institution. It's an institution. Right? ICAI Limited थोड़ी ना. ICAI is an institution. Parliament House Limited थोड़ी ना. Parliament तो अपनी एक institution है, right? High Court of Delhi Limited कभी सुना है? नहीं. High Court is an institution, right? District Court Limited नहीं होता. That's an it's not a company. Limited is only for companies, right? Oh, great, Samir. It means hello in Korean. I wish I was doing the class in Korean, right? अभी यहाँ पे BTS का गाना चला देते थे. Right, Mayur? So a lot of minting presses in India, right? Not just Nashik is one of the biggest, I think, right? Absolutely. When there is more money in the market, RBI issues shares or bonds. तो bond बना देती है, the government bonds, so that it can collect money from the public back into the system, right? Can RBI control Citibank and other foreign banks? Absolutely, yes. Their operations in India, it will control. Their operations in US, it will not control, but RBI will control the foreign banks' operations in India. If they're coming into India as a bank, they have to value what the RBI is saying, okay? RBI created grievance mechanism from customers, RBI ombudsman. That is right. Absolutely. If you have any complaint against any bank or anything, you can just log into RBI ombudsman and do that. Great. I'm happy, Naveen, to know about it. If RBI is advisor to the government, then we can say RBI only forms fiscal policies. No, it's an advisor. It is not the final decision maker, right? It tells them ki, boss, this is the right thing to do. This is what we feel you should do as a country. It tells to the government, it tells to the finance minister, it tells to the finance ministry that, like, let's say the RBI governor sits down with Nirmala Sitharaman and he tells her that I think we should do this particular thing in the country. We should help more women entrepreneurs. Let us go and give cheaper loans to MSMEs. Let us build a policy. Let us build a policy around easier taxation in the country so that inflation control goes, so that consumption बढ़े. And then Nirmala Sitharaman, all right, let me see how can I do that. And then she goes on to focus more on the areas the ministry thinks for the country, from more of a political as well, from the country as well. because they are political parties, right? They are working for the country, but they also look from a political perspective, while RBI is an advisor, which will tell you from an economic perspective, right? Absolutely. RBI is a regulatory body. It regulates, right? It supervises, it helps, it controls things from its perspective, right? RBI is a public financial institution. It's not a financial institution. It's an institution for the banking regulatory. It's a regulatory body. Financial institution नहीं है आरबीआई. पैसे नहीं देता आरबीआई किसी को. It's a statutory body because it is governed by the act. तो वो statutory body बन जाता है, right? We can say that all nodes of economy are in the hands of RBI. Somewhat, yes, Sarvesh. Sarvesh, they control money in the market, right? Harshad, absolutely. RBI is like my country, my rules, right? It's more like my country, please follow my rules, right? If you don't follow, then we might have to charge fines on you. Operations of Indian bank outside India are regulated by RBI. Yes, yes. Can RBI put restrictions like RBI did with Paytm? It can. Whatever it thinks is wrong for the general public, it can do that. अभी क्या हुआ देखो क्रिप्टो करेंसी पे आरबीआई is giving statements, right? It is saying that we never said it is legal, we are just going to tax it as an asset, right? But they have never said it's legal to trade in cryptocurrency, right? They're creating their own digital currency in India. So this is what RBI is doing. It is regulating, it is keeping a check because public का पैसा फंसा हुआ है. अभी मेरी बात समझो. Let's say all of you young people, all of us young people, what you, I'm also young, right? All of us young people invest our money into cryptocurrency. अपना पूरा पैसा उठा के cryptocurrency में डाल दिया कि भाई सब पैसा डाल दो अगले 5 साल में it is going to be 10 times. चलो पैसा पैसा पैसा. We invest all our money into cryptocurrency. 2 साल बाद cryptocurrency bye bye, it is zero, सब चला गया. We will go and tell government, अरे हम गरीब हो गए, please help us. We have no money now. We wasted all our money. Cryptocurrency which is from outside country, सारा पैसा हमने बाहर भेज दिया, वो हमारा पैसा लूट के चले गए, हेल्प कर दो हमें अब. तो आरबीआई विल से बॉस, मैं पहले बोला तेरे को, आरबीआई विल से बॉस आई टोल्ड यू दिस इज नॉट समथिंग, दिस इज वेरी वेरी वोलाटाइल. योर हार्ड अर्न्ड मनी कैन बी लॉस्ट विद इन सेकेंड्स. डू नॉट डू दैट. अभी इसके लिए इंस्टेड ऑफ टेलिंग प्लीज डोंट डू, आरबीआई सेज नॉट अलाउड बिकॉज इट नोज कल को इफ एनीथिंग समथिंग बैड हैपेंस और समथिंग goes for a toss, सारा पैसा चला जाएगा. The government will be under pressure. You will start saying, अरे सरकार कुछ नहीं करती, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट हमारी हेल्प नहीं करती, कोई पैसे नहीं है, we are a poor nation. It'll say, boss, you decided for yourself, right? That is why it controls these things. So that people who are unaware, you and me have no knowledge कि भाई Bitcoin, how does it work? We don't even know that, right? 99.99% don't even understand the technology and they're just investing money कि चलो पैसा बनाएंगे. RBI says, boss, this is so risky, I cannot let you play with such a risky asset. So they're controlling that, right? This is what RBI does. वैसे already we are a poor country. Already we are a developing country with so many poor people. If all the money starts eroding like this, hard-earned money of the people starts going into water like this, RBI says, by inflation, interest rate, I cannot control the country with. It will go for a toss. That is why RBI controls all these things, right? Absolutely. The country does cryptocurrency. No country, Dhanesh. That is exactly what I'm saying, Dhanesh. You and me have no knowledge. Your question is, कौन सी country की cryptocurrency है? That's a very wrong question. किसी country की है ही नहीं वो, right? It's a global thing that is happening. No country holds that currency. Exactly what RBI says. आपको पता है नहीं बट आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो क्रिप्टो करेंसी में, ये कैसी बात है, राइट? That is exactly what RBI's role is. They have to advise the government. They have to maintain economic stability in the country. Economic stability बनानी है, सारे लोगों का पैसे ही चला जाएगा तो कैसे काम चलेगा, right? Great. We'll do that, Nikhil. वो अगर टाइम बचा ना, after 6th chapter we'll do a stock market. वो stock market का lot of terms are there in chapter 6, so anyway we'll talk about it. Absolutely, absolutely घूमेगा. It's very risky. Pushpa is 3 steps ahead of us. We'll come to that, Pushpa. We'll come to your topic as well. धीरे धीरे जाएंगे. Patience. We'll come to what SLR is. Great. Okay, let's go on to the next topic. But before that, a question on your screen, right? Let me see if you can guess the answer or not. RBI was originally private owned, right? Private आदमी का था, किसी private organization का था. But later it was fully owned by the government of India. Is it true or is it false? Is it true or is it false? That is right. Good information there. You guys are reading about cryptocurrency. Good. Absolutely, Harshit. .com bubble. वही था. A lot of people investing in software companies, computer companies. सब कुछ zero हो गया. See, countries like US, countries in Europe can still manage huge losses. Country like India cannot. Country like India cannot. You go on the road, you will see so many people are just fighting for the basic needs, right? You cannot just look at all the affluent people in how many people fill taxes in India, have filed for taxes in India. 2%. 98% people are not even paying taxes. कितना गरीबी है भाई, right? But it's still growing, it's developing. We have to control all of this. We are on the right track. We are growing. There's a lot of optimism in the country, which is good, right? But you cannot play risky here. You have to be very safe. संभल के चलना पड़ेगा. True. Okay, let us see the answer. The answer is true. RBI was originally privately owned, but after nationalization in 1949, okay, 1949 में जब हम लोग national, we got independence, we started to develop ourselves as a republic, it was fully owned by the government of India, right? Okay, functions of RBI. Functions of RBI. पहले हमने क्या पढ़ा? Role of RBI. RBI करता क्या है? RBI करता क्या है? Now we are reading functions of RBI. RBI वो सब कैसे करता है, right? The role of RBI is, what does RBI do? That is what role of RBI was. Now we will study functions of RBI. Functions of RBI are simple. How does it accomplish that role? उस role को achieve कैसे करता है? Through its functions, right? Your role as child, as a son or a daughter of your parents is to support them, right? Your role as a child to your parents is to respect them. That is your role. Your function is to take them to a certain place, to bring food for them, or help them in the house, or help them like financially help them like bring food for them, or like do whatever you want to do for them, right? That is what your function is. But your role is to help them, to support them. How do you help and support them is what your function is. Similarly, RBI का role क्या है? What does RBI do? But functions is, how does it do that? How does it do that? 7 ways functions of RBI. Number 1, issuer of currency. आपके हाथ में जो नोट है, सिक्का है, डिजिटल पेमेंट है, बैंक में ट्रांजैक्शन हो रही है, all of that is controlled, all of that is ensured by RBI. Bankers Bank. HDFC बैंक को लोन लेना है, SBI बैंक को लोन लेना है, किससे लेगा? RBI हेल्प करेगा उसको, राइट? बैंकर टू द गवर्नमेंट का पैसा कहाँ पड़ा रहता है? यू गेट सैलरी, वो कहाँ पे जाता है पैसा? इट गोज टू लेट्स से HDFC बैंक और ICICI बैंक और एक्सिस बैंक, राइट? यू गेट अ पेमेंट, यू गेट योर फादर और योर मदर गेट्स अ पेमेंट फ्रॉम देयर बिजनेस, राइट? इट गोज इनटू अ सर्टेन बैंक. गवर्नमेंट का पैसा कौन से बैंक में जाता है? RBI के पास जाता है. It is the banker to the government, right? Custodian of foreign exchange. इंडिया का जितना भी फॉरेन एक्सचेंज है, डॉलर है, राइट, पाउंड है, यूरो है, वट एवर फॉरेन करेंसी इंडिया ओन्स, सब आरबीआई के पास है. इट इज द कंट्रोलर ऑफ क्रेडिट, राइट? इट tells the banks कि भाई कितना rate of interest you should charge for loans, कितना rate of interest you should give for fixed deposit, right? It is the controller of credit in India. Promotional functions, right? It is promoting people to go digital. क्या बोल रहे हैं? डिजिटल इंडिया, सब कुछ डिजिटल कर दो. यूपीआई लेके आ गए हैं, राइट? दे हैव यूपीआई. देन यू हैव रुपे कार्ड्स, राइट? रुपे करके आपका कार्ड पे लिखा आता है, क्रेडिट डेबिट कार्ड के ऊपर. यू हैव यूपीआई, यू हैव रुपे. डिजिटल करेंसीज, डिजिटल पेमेंट्स. इट इज प्रमोशनल फंक्शन. इट इज प्रमोटिंग पीपल. कैशलेस इकोनॉमी बना देते हैं. वी हैव टू क्रिएट अ कैशलेस इकोनॉमी. Promotional functions of RBI. Collection and publication of data. It collects data and tells what is going wrong in the country, what is going right in the country. GDP growth kitni hogi, interest rate growth kitni hogi, how is inflation in the country. It reports, it publication, wo publicly it tells people inflation बढ़ने वाली है. They, start saving money, inflation is going to rise. Inflation controlled hai, you can spend more money. There is more consumption in the market. You will get more easy loans in the next 2 years. All of this data is given out to the public by RBI. Okay, great. RBI सभी कंपनी की करेंसी इशू करता है. सभी कंपनी क्या, सभी को. और RBI issues currency to everyone, Pushpa, not just companies, every individual also. आपके घर में जो पैसा, आप कंपनी थोड़ी ना. Your money is also issued by RBI. It can take, Jagruti, one bank can take loans from other bank also, right? But RBI controls that. ऐसे तो बड़ा easy हो जाएगा ना. Think about this. There is bank number A, there is bank number B, there is bank number C, okay? And there is a very big bank called D bank. Now what A bank, B bank, C bank. So you as a customer save your money in A bank, I save in B bank. Some of your friends saves money in C bank. Okay. Now D bank says कि यार ये क्या इतने छोटे छोटे banks, these small banks, ये मेरा क्या बिगाड़ेंगे? I tell all these banks, boss, you have 100 rupees, you have 50 rupees, you have 70 rupees, I have 1000 rupees. Okay. I am a very big bank. You give me all your money as loan. You give me all your money as loan. You give all your money as loan. I will give you 7%. Right. I will give you 7% on this money. You give your customers 6%. ठीक है? और 1% आप कमा लो, right? और 1% आप बीच में कमा लो. अभी this D bank is controlling the entire money of the country, right? Banks can take loan from each other. They can take. But a D bank is controlling the entire money of the country. ये तो गलत है ना? This is monopoly. This is what RBI checks. This is what RBI checks. You cannot give the entire money. You can only give 2% of your 100 rupees का सिर्फ 2% आप लोन दे सकते हो, right? This is what RBI controls. This is what we will study now. Okay. Very quickly. PM का कोई पर्सनल अकाउंट नहीं होता. PM का क्या पर्सनल अकाउंट होता है? right? वो SBI में होगा पक्का. Can central government directly or indirectly control the functioning of RBI, or does it function as an autonomous body? 100% autonomous body. 100% autonomous body. The government keeps changing, right? Central government cannot interfere in the workings of the RBI, right? It cannot interfere in the workings of RBI. Rate of interest is different in every bank, but still it is somewhat similar, right? थोड़ा सा ही फर्क होता है. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि HDFC में लोन 18% पे और SBI में आपको 2% पे मिल रहा है. इतना फर्क नहीं होता. But it is more like how much that bank wants to give it to, and there is a band. So let's say RBI says you can give loan anywhere between 16 to 18%. Now you give it at 16 or you give it at 18, that is your business. You decide. क्योंकि बैंक्स को थोड़ा सा तो इट विल टेल, इट इज देयर बिजनेस, राइट? बैंक्स आर डूइंग अ बिजनेस. पैसा कमाने के लिए बैंक खोला, समाज सेवा के लिए बैंक नहीं खोला HDFC ने, राइट? इट वांट्स टू अर्न मनी. सो RBI सेज you can give loan between 16 to 18. I'm just giving you an example. So HDFC says, boss, okay, I have really good customers, I'll charge 18% and people are happy to buy because I will give services. आप ऐसा नहीं होगा लंच टाइम पे आओगे तो हम नहीं मिलेंगे. You will get all the services 24/7/365 on your phone. So I will give at 18%, but I will also give services. SBI says, I will give you loan at 16%, but आके ना हमें परेशान मत कर, right? Don't come and disturb us. You take a loan सस्ता, right? That is how they do a business because they have so much volume. SBI has so much volume. It is very difficult to manage for them as well, right? Honest है, इतना काम है उनके पास, right? Yes, Pranjal, RBI does not issue coins. It's given to some other body within RBI which controls it, right? Great. So issuer of currency, number one, sole authority of issue of currency in India is with RBI, right? Number two, Bankers Bank. It controls the commercial banking system under Reserve Bank of India Act. Bankers Bank has banks की help करता है. It requires the bank to maintain CRR and SLR. ये पढ़ेंगे. We will study this in the next slide. CRR, SLR पढ़ेंगे. Tension नहीं. Right? It assists the scheduled banks and cooperative banks through discounting eligible bills, loans, and advances. That means if all the scheduled banks and cooperative banks, scheduled banks are banks which are specifically identified by RBI कि ये agriculture में help करेगा, ये rural area में help करेगा ये वाला bank. This particular bank will help in rural area or in agriculture area. This is called scheduled bank. These are called scheduled banks, right? And then we have cooperative banks. Similarly, cooperative banks are banks created by a group of individuals, right? They help those banks. उनको कभी पैसे की जरूरत पड़ती है तो RBI arranges that money for them. It arranges. ऐसे पैसे free में बांटता नहीं है. It arranges. So it will tell HDFC, boss, give that money. I am taking a guarantee. You give that money to the scheduled bank for time being. अगर वो पूरा नहीं कर पाए, if they are not able to repay, you come to me. I will help you, right? So it doesn't give money. It's a non-funding institution, right? Conducts inspections and asks for returns from banks to regulate, right? आप audit करोगे, articleship में जाओगे अगर, if you go to articleship, when you do articleship, and if you get a chance to do bank audit, I got a chance to do bank audit, right? If you go and do bank audit कभी भी, you will see that RBI की reporting होती है. RBI asks for the books of accounts. There is a form that it asks कि भाई हमारे पास भरो. How is the bank functioning? If there are any frauds happening in the bank, क्योंकि public का पैसा है, you cannot play with public का पैसा. You cannot play with public's money, right? So that is why it conducts inspections and asks for returns from banks to regulate and maintain the trust in banking system, right? If you do bank audit, बड़ा मजा आता है, right? If you get a chance in articleship, I would really push you. If you get a chance in articleship, go and do a bank audit. It's a different world altogether. बहुत मजा आता है, right? So that is what RBI tells them कि books of accounts बताओ हमें. There are so many forms, so many things happening in the bank. You are sitting right in the bank and people are there in the bank और साथ में आप काम भी कर रहे हो. You see operations happening in the bank. So much money. आप अपना balance sheet खोलोगे, it starts with 10,000 crores and you're like, boss, कितना पैसा, right? But that is how huge the banks are. Right? And this is what RBI controls for each and every bank in the country, right? It controls both private banks and government banks. Public sector, private sector, दोनों ही वो control करता है. When credit is to be expanded, central bank reduces the bank rate. Anushka will come to that. SLR, अभी SLR, CRR पढ़ेंगे ना. I'll explain that. आपको interest rate भी बताऊंगा. बहुत simple है. It's a simple logic. I'll come to that. Number 3, banker to the government. It manages the public debt, right? अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को लोन लेना है. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को लोन लेना है, लेट्स से फ्रॉम जर्मनी. ओके, इंडिया को जर्मनी से लोन लेना है, राइट? नंबर 1 सिनेरियो, इंडिया को जर्मनी से लोन लेना है. नंबर 2 सिनेरियो, भूटान को इंडिया ने लोन देना है, राइट? इंडिया इज गिविंग लोन टू भूटान, इंडिया इज टेकिंग लोन फ्रॉम जर्मनी फॉर एग्जाम्पल. ये सब का बैंक कौन है? इसमें बैंक का है RBI. Manages the public debt. RBI is the bank which is doing international level पे all these transactions, right? With the help of other banks. It takes help from other banks. It will take help from SBI. It will take help from HDFC. It will take help from ICICI. But पूरा transaction will be controlled, affected by Reserve Bank of India, right? Think from a country perspective. It is the banker to the government. सरकार का बैंक RBI है, right? Transacts general banking of central as well as state governments. State government का पैसा, central government का पैसा Everything is controlled by RBI, right? अब दिल्ली सरकार का पैसा कहाँ पड़ा है? दिल्ली सरकार का पैसा कहाँ है? आरबीआई कंट्रोल्स दैट, राइट? और अभी महाराष्ट्र सरकार का पैसा क्या है? आरबीआई कंट्रोल्स दैट, राइट? It sells treasury bills on behalf of the government to control flow of money in the system, right? It sells treasury bills. Treasury bills मतलब वही bonds, like gold bonds, I will say, जैसे treasury bills भी होते हैं. On behalf of, so if the government wants, let's say, the government says we are doing, I'll give you another example. देखो, NHAI, National Highway Authority of India, NHAI क्या बोलता है कि हम बॉन्ड निकाल रहे हैं, you give us money and we will give you 12% interest rate. Okay. Now, all these book work, all this documentation, all this transaction, RBI helps. It is the banker to the government. सरकार को कोई भी बैंकिंग का प्रोसेस हो, just like general people, if government wants any banking services, it picks up the phone and tells RBI, this is what we want. And RBI is their bank. Okay. It makes advances to central as well as state governments, right? It helps in getting money for the central and state governments. It arranges that money for them. It is advisor to the government. We have studied this. It is advisor to the government कि क्या सही है, क्या गलत है, what should be done. It is the banker to the government. It is an advisor to the government. That this is the bank of the government, right? RBI plays role. Okay, RBI plays role of an intermediary of two banks. Yes, almost always, right? A very good question, Nikhil. Go and YouTube it. सारे time pass questions आज पूछ रहे हो, right? Focus on the syllabus. Bank account कैसे खोलते हैं? Number 4, custodian of foreign exchange reserves, right? It is the custodian of foreign exchange. Like I was telling you, all the dollars, all the euros, right? Sarkar ke paas, all the foreign exchange that the country has, maintaining the external value of rupee. Today, rupees, let's say 77 rupees per dollar, right? Tomorrow, it will be, let's say 75.5 rupees per dollar. All of this is managed by RBI. RBI is taking control of this. RBI is deciding, RBI is creating policies, creating rules for foreign exchange, right? Abhi, you would have read कि आपको पैसा अगर बाहर भेजना है. So let's say I'm an Indian and let's say कि someone, my relative is studying in USA. I have to send money to them. उनकी फीस भरनी है, right? So the RBI says आप भर दो. But there are certain rules. Foreign Exchange Management Act, याद आप पढ़ेंगे FEMA के बारे में, right? FEMA is one of the biggest works that a chartered accountant does, right? Huge opportunity in FEMA. FEMA is your Foreign Exchange Management Act. It is FEMA, right? FEMA, RBI says कि आप एक लिमिट तक ही पैसा बाहर भेज सकते हो. So RBI says you can only send a certain limit of money to a foreign country. So that's all the money of the India is not gone outside, right? This is what it does. Custodian of foreign exchange reserves of India. Controller of credit, right? इसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे. It controls credit through SLR. It controls credit through CRR, right? It controls credit through other rates. Interest rates से देखता है. Interest rate set करता है. All this, it controls credit in the country. कि कितना credit, how much loan, how easy, how sasta, how cheap, how महंगा, how costly the loan in the country should be. We'll study this. Abhi, next slide. Okay. Promotional functions like mobilizing savings, promoting banking, recently digitized currency, UPI, RuPay, all this RBI is controlling. RBI is deciding ki what should be the latest technology. NEFT है, RTGS है, NEFT is there, RTGS आप पैसा भेजने के, these are two modes of sending money online. Then there is UPI, Google Pay करते हो, Paytm करते हो, Bharat Pay करते हो, RuPay cards are there, Swift transactions are there in banks, right? All these technology, ये सारी technology, RBI decides कि हमारी कंट्री में कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी आनी चाहिए. RBI decides what is the technology that our country should use, and they always want to use the latest technology. The latest technology now is blockchain. So RBI is also working on bringing blockchain into the country, right? Number 7 and final function is collection and publication of data. It collects and analyzes statistical data for policy implementation. It collects, analyzes, tells कि भाई GDP कैसी है, आपका इन्फ्लेशन रेट क्या है, क्या चल रहा है, आगे क्या होगा, नेक्स्ट 5 years में GDP कहाँ जाएगी, नेक्स्ट 5 years में इन्फ्लेशन का क्या होगा. All this is what RBI tells the general public. It awares the general public कि देखो भैया, future of the country ऐसा दिख रहा है. So work hard or be comfortable. It is on you. But we are telling you the future of the country looks like this. Okay. Great. How does SBI? So does SBI has state government account? It does. So Manisha, what happens is RBI is the banker to the government, and it decides कि government कहाँ पे account खोले. Okay. So the government is this. Government क्या बोलती है RBI को कि you help me open an account. Now RBI decided it wants to open Maharashtra Sarkar, Maharashtra government account in SBI or in ICICI. Right? So RBI is helping. RBI is controlling that thing. RBI is the decision maker. Okay. Nikhil, आपको वो भी समझेंगे. Blockchain is a separate topic altogether. You will study that in foundation and other topics, right? वो तो 2 दिन लग जाएंगे समझाने. But if you're interested, go and read about it on Google, right? Watch a video, something 5-6 minute की video देखो YouTube, you'll understand what blockchain is, latest technology. Okay, got it. Since it sells and buys securities on behalf of government, isn't an agent to the government? Not an agent, but a facilitating organization. It's a non-funding institution. Agent कह सकते हैं, right? For easy understanding, you can understand it as an agent of the government, right? You can call it an agent of the government for certain activities, right? Okay, zero coupon bond also issued by RBI. That is right, Jyoti. Great information. I'm happy you know about zero coupon bonds. ये पढ़ेंगे chapter 6 में. RBI works behalf of government of India, right? CRR पढ़ेंगे, SLR भी पढ़ेंगे अभी, okay? Great, Ankit. You know what SLR, CRR is, okay? Let us also help others also with this. So just a revision: issuer of currency, banker's bank, banker to the government, custodian of foreign exchange, controller of credit. ये अभी पढ़ेंगे और we'll study this in depth. Promotional functions, UPI, RuPay, SWIFT, collection and publication of data, inflation, GDP की information, telling people how the GDP and inflation is going to be in the country is called collection and publication of data. Right? Great. Now let us understand before I go to आपका credit वाला, how does it help businesses in business facilitation? समझ आ गया RBI करता क्या है, रोल क्या है RBI का, RBI का फंक्शन क्या है, समझ आ गया. I understand. RBI is what RBI does and how it does that I understand. But how is it helping businesses? ये business को कैसे help हो रही है इससे? RBI is controlling the banks. RBI is the banker to the government. Government की सेवा कर रहा है, बैंकों को control कर रहा है. It is taking care of the banking system. It is taking control of the credit. It is minting money. It is creating currency in the country. It is taking care of the foreign exchange of the country. तो business को कैसे help हो रही है? How is it a business facilitator? How is it supporting a business? फटाफट से समझते हैं. Right? Currency policy. First thing is it creates a currency policy. अभी currency policy क्या है? जैसे demonetization, remonetize. 2000 का नोट अलग चेंज हो गया. Earlier we did not have a 2000 rupee का नोट. Now we have a 2000 rupee का नोट, right? Earlier we did not have 200 rupees का नोट. अभी we have 200 rupees का नोट, right? Adequacy of currency for economic activities. Now, when the government is printing more money, when the government is creating more currency, 2000 रुपए का नोट का मतलब क्या है? 2000. Think from a government perspective. If I make 2000 rupees ka note, why will a government make 2000 rupees ka note? Because there is inflation. Now, if I see average price of your clothes, right? Abhi it's an honest thing. You go to Flipkart, you go to Amazon. Average juta is for 1000 to 1500 rupees, right? 1000 to 1500 rupees का average जूता हो चुका है. right? Which earlier I remember in school days, 300, 400 rupees I used to buy a shoe. The average lowest price, lowest good quality shoe you will get for 1000 rupees, 1500 rupees. You go to Nike, Adidas, 10,000 ka juta hai, right? Because there is inflation. The price has increased so much. So government decided, yeah, note bhi 2000 ka nikal. As a 500, if I have to buy like a shoe for let's say 2000 rupees, I have to give 4 notes. 4 note print करने पड़ रहे हैं मुझे. So I have to print more money. I have to print 4 notes of 500 rupees for people because the average price, average kharcha, average expense has increased. I want to save my money. The government wants to save its cost of printing. कहते 2000 का नोट निकाल गया. Create a note for 2000. इसको print करने की cost is let's say 20 rupees. And cost of printing a 500 rupee note is let's say 10 rupees. So 2000 रुपए बनाने के लिए the cost is 40 rupees here and the cost is 20 rupees here. Government says 50% saving हो गई. Let us create a note for 2000 rupees. That is why they created a note for 2000 rupees, right? Currency policy. How is it helping businesses? People can now buy stuff easily. If you give 4 notes of 500, आपके दिल को कुछ हो जाएगा यार, 4 note देने पड़ रहे हैं. Now you give a 2000 single note and you buy a product. It is helping businesses. It is making easy for people to buy stuff, and that is helping businesses. It is giving more money in the hands of the people so that people can spend. When people spend, businesses grow. That is how it is helping the businesses. Currency policy, right? Number 2, payment mechanism, right? What is it saying? It's saying कि boss credit card, debit card, online payment, digital, UPI, scan करो, हर चीज scan करके payment. Do payments everywhere you can scan, open bank account, open demat account, single click, scan pay, scan pay, scan pay. It has given that facility to the banks. It has created that technology for the banks. It has allowed the banks to go digital. It has created that environment in the country that they're pushing people for digital payments. They're pushing people for cashless economy. That is helping businesses, right? That is helping business. Business को कोई डर ही नहीं है. एक स्कैन लगा के बैठा हुआ है. कोई गल्ला, there is no तिजोरी, there is no safe. They want cash. फटा नोट आ गया, टेप वाला नोट आ गया. कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है. Now the shopkeeper is not concerned about फटा नोट आ गया, गंदा नोट आ गया, नोट असली है या नहीं. So you remember every time you give a 500 or a 2000 rupee note, that person looks at the tube light, नोट असली है या नहीं. The concept is gone. You pay online, you're scanning the money. सच है, गलत है, सही है, गलत. No one cares. Ease of business. There is ease of business. Payment mechanism is creating ease of business. Business facilitation by RBI. It is helping businesses to feel safe. कि ठीक है, पैसा तो आ ही रहा है मेरे बैंक में. And the moment it is given in your bank, you're getting interest on savings account, right? Earlier, shopkeepers used to collect the entire money from the day, go and deposit into bank, always scared कोई चुरा ना ले. रस्ते में then goes and invests, and then puts money in the bank, and in bank then it gets interest. Now instantly it puts into the bank and you start getting interest on that money, right? That is what business facilitation is. Payment mechanism के through RBI is helping businesses. Number 3, develop financial systems, right? Financial systems बना रहे हैं in the country, right? Like banks, more private banks, neo banks. Now we have digital banks. NBFCs are being created, non-banking financial corporations. All these Bajaj Finance बन गया, Aditya Birla Group Finance Company, Tata Finance. They're letting all these people give loans. NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, to give out loans to businesses, right? So that more businesses can get easy access to money, right? It is creating a financial system. It is developing a financial system where businesses can get money from a lot of people, right? Investors can invest money. FDI, foreign direct investment, people can get money from foreign investors also into India. People sitting in India can invest money in US stocks, right? Development of financial systems, business facilitation, right? Business ka facilitation. This is what RBI is helping businesses with, right? Now, think about this. We were talking about certain critical points of credit policy, right? Credit policy के बारे में जब हम पढ़ रहे थे, मेरी बात समझो, right? मेरी बात समझो. When I'm saying this, give me 1 second. I'm talking about credit policy, okay? कहाँ गया यार? ये रहा. controller of the credit, right? Controller of the credit. Similarly, I have this credit policy. हमने currency policy पढ़ा, payment mechanism पढ़ा, development of financial system पढ़ा, right? We studied all of this. Now we'll study credit policy. We'll study credit policy. And credit policy के अंदर we have these things. Under credit policy, I have basis points, repo rate, reverse repo, SLR, and CRR. Through all these things, it controls credit in the country, right? Through all these things, it controls credit in the country. That means कितना लोन मिलना चाहिए, किस रेट पे मिलना चाहिए, कितना लोन मिलना चाहिए, किस रेट पे मिलना चाहिए, is what the RBI decides through its techniques, through its tools. It controls those things through its tools, techniques, and these are those techniques, these are those tools through which it controls कि कितना लोन, कितना आसानी से लोन मिलना चाहिए people of the country को. People of the country means businesses, personal, private people, businesses, सबको कितनी आसानी से लोन मिलना चाहिए. That is what the RBI decides through these tools, right? Before I go to the first one, let me see if I have any questions. Okay. It plays an important role in accumulation of black money. It plays important role in not accumulation of black money or in reduction of black money. Accumulation होता है इकट्ठा करना, काला धन थोड़ी ना करते हैं वो. Exactly, Pushpa. The Harshad Mehta took loan without SLR. That is why it was a scam. Yes, अमीर, मेरे घर में एक प्रिंटर है. I have seen notes being printed. आपको क्यों लगता है मैं तो बहुत अमीर हूँ? I print my own money, sir. मेरे घर में प्रिंटर है, मैं खुद ही अपने नोट प्रिंट करता रहता हूँ. Financial instruments? No, these are not financial instruments. These are tools for credit policy. Financial instruments are different. Financial instrument क्या होता है? Shares, bonds, debentures, right? Those are financial instruments. अच्छा, PUBG में गन है SLR था, वो ये वही सेम काम करता है. It also kills a lot of banks. Open market operations, margin requirement and moral persuasion सब पढ़ेंगे यार, सब पढ़ेंगे सर. अमीर जी सब पढ़ेंगे. It is okay. If colleges are making profit, then it is a business. It's a business. Colleges are making business. Not for profit का लिखा है. College not for profit नहीं लिखा तो क्या? Profit making होता है college भी. I also design notes as per my needs, right? I have a note. I made Taylor Swift on that note. बहुत अच्छा डिजाइन था वो. And then I got a slap from my dad. ये क्या 2000 के नोट पे Taylor Swift क्यों बना दी? Sure, Ankit. The best part about scam is you get free holidays in jail. ठीक है ना? जेल जाओ, फ्री में रहो, कितना मजा आएगा, right? You can also do scam. Go to jail, free khana, free malish. You will get free massage every day. Police will come, the jailer will come and hit you. कितना मजा आएगा, right? Free vacation होता है. जेल जाना चाहिए ना, बहुत अच्छी बात है. So proud, sir. So proud. इतना अच्छा thought process लेके आए, मजा आ गया. Absolutely, scam is a loss to the government, obviously. और किसका loss होगा? आपका पैसा चला जाता है. Which form of business is the college? Depends what form of business they are functioning as. Partnership भी हो सकता है, HUF भी हो सकता है, company भी हो सकता है, LLP भी हो सकता है, private limited भी हो सकता है. It can be anything. What form of business is? The college has to decide what form of business it is operating as, right? Cool. Let us go on to some important concepts: basis points, repo rate, reverse repo, SLR और CRR. Okay. Basis point क्या होता है? Interest rate is referred in basis points. Okay. 1% is equal to 100 basis points. खत्म. ये होता है basis points और कुछ नहीं है. 1% is equal to 100 basis points. 1% is equal to 100 basis points. If the bank interest rate is 7.75%, okay, if the bank rate, let's say the bank interest rate is 7.75%, RBI reduces it by 25 basis points. 25 basis points. That means 0.25% से reduce कर दिया. New interest rate that the bank can charge is 7.5. 100 basis points is equal to 1%. 25 basis points will be 0.25%. If RBI says, ki, "Arey bank, you have to reduce your interest rate by 25 basis points because I want the people of the country to take easier loans, to make loans cheaper for them, reduce your loan by 25 basis points." So बैंक को 0.25% से रेट कम कर देना है. That is what basis point is. 1% is equal to 100 basis points. Simple, simple, right? Repo rate क्या है? Right? Repo rate क्या है? Repo rate is simple. Great. All those who know Ankit, just breathe, right? This is you are saying the right thing. I'm happy you know it. But let us quickly study with everyone else as well, right? I'll also really miss you guys, but I want you all to clear the examination. That's a miss करके ऐसा ना फिर से पढ़ने आगे foundation, right? Repo rate. What is repo rate? RBI is the banker of the banks. We know this. पढ़ के आए हैं. We just studied this. Rate means interest rate. Repo rate क्या है? Interest rate होता है. Repo rate is an interest rate at which banks borrow money from RBI is called repo rate, right? Repo rate का full form is repurchase rate. It is a repurchase rate, okay? Rate at which the banks borrow money from RBI. It is called repo rate. It is called repo rate. It is called repo rate, okay? Full form is called repurchase rate. Short term borrowing होता है. It's not given for 2 साल 3 साल. It is given for let's say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. इससे ज्यादा नहीं देता. RBI इससे ज्यादा help नहीं करता है. उसको भी पैसे चाहिए, right? So the rate at which banks borrow money from RBI, that is called repo rate. Reverse repo is the reverse of this. Rate at which banks deposit money with RBI is called reverse repo. So the bank says, let's say HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank says that, okay, I want to deposit my money with RBI, right? Because RBI has asked for money. RBI ने कहा मुझे थोड़ा पैसा दे दो. RBI says कि I have expenses. Give me some money. I want some money from you. So HDFC Bank says, okay, I'll give you money. The rate at which RBI will give interest to HDFC, because HDFC is depositing that money with RBI, it is called a reverse repo. It is called a reverse repo, right? Like you get interest in the savings bank account, right? जैसे आप पैसा डिपॉजिट करते हो HDFC बैंक में, ऐसे ही HDFC Bank is depositing money in RBI, okay? Like you are depositing your money in HDFC, HDFC is depositing its money in RBI. You get a 4-5% on your savings account. Similarly, HDFC gets a 3.35% currently. अभी और change हो गया होगा, right? It gets a percentage from the RBI. That is called a reverse repo. When the banks borrow money from RBI, it is called a repo rate. When banks deposit money into RBI, the interest rate RBI pays is reverse repo rate. Okay, simple. Very simple. शॉर्ट टर्म 1 ईयर के लिए होता है आइडियली, बट बैंक्स एंड आरबीआई का 1 साल नहीं होता, 1-2 महीने से ज्यादा नहीं होता. Repo rate currently is 4% only, right? That is also what I've written. Probably it keeps changing. How will we differentiate between repo rate and bank rate? Simple है. Bank rate is what bank charges from general public. Bank rate is what bank charges from general, अपने लोग से जो charge कर रहा है bank. What is bank charging from us is called bank rate. RBI और बैंक के बीच में जो हो रहा है transaction between the RBI and the banks, that has repo and reverse repo rates, right? Simple है. What is SLR? यार SLR क्या चीज है? Statutory liquidity ratio. Statutory liquidity ratio is SLR. It is the ratio, that means percentage. Ratio is a percentage. Ratio तो percentage ही होता है. The percentage of liquid assets to total deposits with the bank. मतलब very simple. What are liquid assets? Liquid assets are assets that can be converted to cash very quickly, right? Like आपका एकदम quickly liquid asset क्या है? Gold. Gold is your liquid asset, right? आप सोना जाओ किसी को भी बेचो, instantly you will get money. If you have to sell something to get an asset which you can sell instantly to get money, that is called liquid asset. Think about your house. आप अपना घर ऐसे instantly नहीं बेच सकते. That is an asset. Your house is an asset. But you cannot just say कि अरे भैया रास्ते से हाथ दिया. You go to a shop. Let's say you go to a shopkeeper. भैया I need 50 lakh rupees. मेरा घर खरीद लो. फिर से बॉस यहाँ से उल्टा निकल जाओ, right? But if you have gold, let's say you have gold, you go to a shop and say मेरा सोना खरीद ले and give me money. He said लाओ फटाफट लाओ अभी खरीदता. That is liquid asset. Assets that can be converted to cash very quickly, like government securities, time deposits, FD. FD you can easily convert into cash. Fixed deposit को, right? Like term deposit, securities of the government का bond है. You can quickly convert that into cash. You can say ठीक है ये government का bond है, अभी बेचूंगा और पैसा मिल जाएगा, right? That is what liquid assets are. So whatever liquid assets the bank has, the RBI says कि भाई इसका एक portion, I want you to keep a portion of this liquid asset with me. Keep a liquid assets का ratio with me. Why? Total deposits can be used to give out loans. Okay. Now, let me teach you कि इसका मतलब क्या है. ये देखो. Simple logic. Let's say ICICI Bank. Okay. ICICI Bank has 1 lakh customers. ICICI Bank has 1 lakh customers. बहुत simple बनाने वाला हूँ. Listen to this very carefully. Okay. ICICI Bank has 1 lakh customers, and each of these 1 lakh customers have deposited their money in the bank. या तो savings account में, or fixed deposit, or provident fund. In different forms, they have deposited their money in ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank के पास in 1 lakh people have deposited, let's say together they have deposited 10,000 crore rupees. Okay. 10,000 crore रुपए ICICI में these 1 lakh people have deposited. Okay. These 1 lakh people have deposited this money, 10,000 crores. Now, ICICI is 10,000 crore में से. ICICI Bank can use this 10,000 crores to give out loans. क्या करेगा? इससे लोन देगा लोगों को, right? हम सबको for these 1 lakh people it is saying ठीक है, deposit your money in bank, I will give you 6% interest. If you deposit your money with me, I will give you 6% interest. And I'm like, मजे आ गए. I will get 6% interest. I will invest in ICICI. I will deposit my money in ICICI Bank. ठीक है. ICICI ने ऐसा करके 10,000 crore rupees collect कर लिए. Now, after it has collected, it has to give out loans. अभी loan देने के लिए it says I will give loan at 9% for education loan, 11% to small businessmen. I will give 10% to women entrepreneurs. Home loan दूंगा 17% पे, car loan दूंगा 18% पे. Different loans it is giving to general public, right? 9% पे एजुकेशन लोन देंगे, 11% पे बिजनेस लोन देंगे, 10% टू women entrepreneurs, 17% होम लोन देते हैं, 18% कार लोन देते हैं. Different loans out of this 10,000 crore it is giving out to public, making this money, and this has to only give 6% to people. 10% कमाएगा, 6% देगा, 4% gain. 9% कमाएगा, 6% देगा, 3% gain, right? So overall it is earning money like this. The banks are making money like this. Now think about this. RBI क्या बोलता है? RBI comes and says, boss, very good business, मजा आ गया.
10,000 crores आपके पास पड़े हैं. You have 10,000 crores and you have 1 lakh customers. Okay. Now what if these 1 lakh customer में से let's say 10,000 people come and say, boss, I want my money back. अभी के अभी मुझे मेरा पैसा चाहिए. I have deposit. I have to invest this money now. I have to take out this money from my bank, and let's say I have to buy a house. I have to invest my money in share market. I have to spend this money on a foreign trip. I have to take my parents to, let's say, a pilgrimage. मुझे पैसे चाहिए, मैं अपने पैसे निकाल. I want to take my money out of the bank. I have to spend it. I have to invest it. My choice, my money. अभी if this 10,000 crore rupees, अगर ये 10,000 करोड़ रुपए इसने सारे लोन में बांट दिए, if it has given the entire 10,000 crores as loan, these 10,000 people will come and say, give me my money. ICICI Bank will say, boss, sorry, वो तो सारा मैंने लोन दे दिया, जो which will come to me after 7 years. The loan is for 7 years. I've given out all the money in loans. I cannot give your money back. Please come to me after 7 years. You will be like, boss, ये क्या scam है? I deposited my money with you so that I can use my money. And you have given the entire money. Give me my money back immediately. Now the bank will be in a problem, right? The bank कहाँ से पैसा लाएगा? Bank पैसा कहाँ से लाएगा? To control this, they brought SLR and CRR. Okay. So control this, they brought SLR and CRR. RBI brought these two concepts. Okay. SLR and CRR. SLR क्या बोलता है? SLR says it requires to keep a certain percentage. SLR requires statutory liquidity ratio. Keep the total deposits 10,000 करोड़ जो आपके पास total deposit है, keep certain percentage as liquid assets. Keep certain percentages as liquid asset so that अगर लोग पैसा मांग रहे हैं, if people come to you to ask for money back from you, the money they are deposited, you can give that money to them. Keep that into liquid asset. Why liquid asset? So that it can be easily converted into cash. फटाफट से. So let's say you have currently it says 18.5%. So 10,000 crores का 18.5%, 1,850 crore rupees, you have to keep it into liquid assets, right? RBI says ICICI, if you have 10,000 crores of total deposits, currently 18.5% hai, it keeps changing. So SLR keep 1,08,050 crore rupees into liquid assets so that अगर लोग पैसा मांगने आए, आप फटाफट से convert that into cash and give them their money back. Okay, you can quickly convert that into cash and give your money back to the people, right? This is what SLR means. Similarly, cash reserve ratio. वो कहते हैं आप 18.5% keep in liquid assets, but also keep certain portion of your total deposits in cash. Total deposits का certain percentage cash में भी रखो. Currently it is 3%. So 18.5% SLR में रखा, right? 3% आपने CRR में रखा, cash reserve ratio. So 21.5% you have kept ready for if people want the money back, you keep this money aside. ये पैसा अलग रख दो. The balance 78.5% आप लोन दे दो. आपको इस पैसे का लोन देना है, you give out loans of this 78.5% of the total deposits. But 21.5% of your total deposits, any bank in the country, it is flat for every bank. HDFC, ICICI, Axis हो गया, Canara Bank हो गया, SBI हो गया, any bank. It is flat for every bank in the country. RBI says you have to keep this percentage, right? Up. Think about this, right? Think about this. Now, think from a government perspective. अगर let's say this is 21.5%, तो आपको रखना ही है. Only 78.5% you can give out as loans. Now, if the RBI wants more money, to be given out as loan, तो वो क्या करेगा? You tell me. if the RBI wants more money to be given out as loan to general public, to businesses in the country, तो वो क्या करेगा? You tell me, what will it do? Right, so 4.08%, it keeps changing, right? I created this thing, 4 और 4.0 में बहुत फर्क आ गया, right? बहुत ज्यादा पैसा फर्क आ गया. ATM is also included, it is included in CRR. ATM is included in CRR, okay? But tell me, I have a question. आप मेरे से question पूछ रहे हो. My question is also to you. If the RBI or the government wants, if the RBI or the government wants more money to be given out as loan, what will it do with CRR and SLR? SLR और CRR के साथ क्या करेंगे? What will it do with SLR and CRR if it wants more money to be given out in the economy for businesses? What will it do? Will it increase them or will it decrease them? It will decrease those rates, right? It will reduce CRR, it will reduce SLR, so that more percentage of the bank's deposit can be given out as loan. Similarly, agar it wants to control credit in the country, it wants to control money flow in the country, कि नहीं अभी थोड़ा धीरे, because there is a lot of inflation, बहुत ज्यादा inflation हो रही है, let me control the money, right? लोग तो पैसा उड़ाते जा रहे हैं लोन लेके, सस्ते में लोन मिल रहे हैं, वे पैसा लोन लेके उड़ाते जा रहे हैं. लोन को महंगा कर दो, increase the prices so that banks are not able to give more loans, right? So what will happen? It will increase SLR and CRR. अगर इसको 5% कर दे और इसको 30% कर दे, तो 35% तो आपका ब्लॉक हो गया बैंक का, right? And only 65% of the deposits it can give as loans. So पूरी कंट्री में लोन का अमाउंट गिर जाएगा. इजी नहीं होगा लोन मिलना उतना आसान नहीं होगा. It will be not so easy to get loans in the country, right? That is exactly how RBI controls credit policy. यही तो है credit policy. यही तो पढ़ रहे हैं सर. Credit policy, it controls the controller of credit. It controls the credit SLR CRR से, right? SLR CRR से, okay? एक और बड़ा अच्छा concept I'll tell you, okay? Now everything is interlinked. अभी जो हमने repo rate, reverse repo rate पढ़ा, reverse repo rate क्या है? Reverse repo rate is the percentage that the banks get when they deposit money with RBI, okay? बैंक ने RBI में money deposit करा, so it gets a percentage of money, right? It gets a percentage of money. So this SLR and CRR, they deposit it with RBI. जो SLR और CRR है, इसे हम पैसा lose क्यों करें भाई? So the bank will tell RBI, boss, 78% I'm giving out loans, I'm making money on that. But 20% you are telling me कि नहीं, I cannot give it as loans. So where will I invest that money? उस पैसे का मैं क्या करूं? Right? So RBI says, no problem. You give that money to me. And I will give you an interest rate. That is reverse repo rate. देखा, यही तो है. Rate at which banks deposit money with RBI. यही SLR, CRR वो जाके deposit कर देते हैं, right? And they get a percentage. Currently 3.35%, they start earning money on that as well. Because RBI doesn't want them to lose money, right? अभी 20% total deposit का उनको कह दिया भाई बंद करके रखो, you cannot use this money. The bank says, I cannot use this money, I'm losing so much interest on that. I'm losing so much money on that. So then no problem. I'll give you 3.35% on that, but that is important for the country to function, right? That is exactly what RBI does. Simple है? कितना simple है? Question on the screen. Read the question very carefully and answer this, okay? Simple है, कितने simple concepts. Question on the screen, boys and girls, quickly answer this. Read the question carefully and answer. All right, I have one answer from Avni. Let us see, Avni, if you're right or not. Let us wait for others to answer. Let us wait for others also to answer. Okay, I have few answers. A lot of mixed answers. 4.5, 9.5, 7.5, 2.5. सारे options आ गए मेरे पास. I'm happy that the answers are coming wrong. Only then you'll understand. The current reverse repo rate is 4%. The difference between repo and reverse repo shall be 350 basis points. Okay. Now RBI increases reverse repo by 200 basis points. What is the new repo rate? What a tricky question, right? But fun question, right? No. If RBI, if HDFC takes loan from ICICI, it is not called repo rate because RBI के साथ होगा तो ही it is called repo. The loan between HDFC and ICICI Bank is called interbank interest rate. It is called IB rate, interbank rate. Okay, वो हमारे syllabus में नहीं है, so don't get confused with that. But it is called interbank interest rate. 7.5, 7.5, ठीक है. Let me go to the question to the answer very quickly, and the correct answer is 9.5. कैसे? How is the answer 9.5? Okay. Reverse repo rate is always less than repo rate. ये कैसे पता चलेगा? Why not? Logic है. It is a logic. Reverse repo will always be less than repo rate. What money a bank gives out, see, from a bank perspective also think, the money that you get when you deposit into bank is 4-5%, but when you go and take a loan, वो तो आपको 9-10% पे मिलता है ना. Same concept. Reverse repo is the money that the bank gets from RBI, is the interest rate it gets from RBI. Repo rate is what it has to pay to RBI. जो pay करना होता है वो हमेशा ज्यादा होता है from what you get, right? What you pay is always more than what you get, right? That is what the logic is. So reverse repo is always less than repo rate. Now, if the reverse repo rate is 4% and the difference has to always be 350 basis points. So if reverse repo is 4%, then repo rate is 4 plus 3.5. 350 basis points means 3.5%. Okay. So अपना क्या हुआ? Reverse repo 4 है, then repo is 7.5%. समझ गए? If RBI increases reverse repo by 200, reverse repo 2% से बढ़ा, that means repo will also increase by 2%. क्योंकि उनका should always be 350 points. RBI ने क्या बोला? The difference will always be 350 basis points. So if reverse repo बढ़ गया तो repo भी उतने से ही बढ़ेगा, right? रेपो को भी हमने 200 बेसिस पॉइंट्स 2% से बढ़ा देना. 7.5% हमारा था, it increased by 200 basis, that is 2%. The current repo rate is 9.5%. The current repo rate is 9.5%, right? क्या ऐसा टाइप का क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आ सकता है क्या? Absolutely yes, Pushpa. These kinds of question can also come in examination because this is in the syllabus, right? Repo, reverse repo. It's a simple maths. Plus minus hai. It's a plus minus question. Why are you so scared of this? You understand the concept with a plus minus, right? The correct answer is 9.5, right? You understand the logic. Reverse repo is always less than repo. If it is increasing by 2%, it will also increase by 2%. 7.5 plus 2%, 9.5%. Okay, great. Next question on your screen. Logic मैंने समझा दिया है. Very quickly tell me what is the answer. Priyanka, what is your doubt? Reverse repo minus repo is 3.5, then repo rate is 9.5. Correct. That is what the answer is, Priyanka, right? Reverse repo minus repo is 3.5, then आपका repo rate is 7.5. So 9.5 कैसे हो गया? 4 plus 3.5 is 7.5, right? 4% है reverse repo, उसमें 3.5 add करते हो तो 7.5 आ गया. Question is on the screen. फटाफट से read the question carefully and answer. Difference between repo and bank rate, Priyanka, we have done that. Repo rate RBI और बैंक के बीच is called repo rate. Bank rate between the customer and the bank. HDFC आपको जो लोन देता है बैंक रेट है. RBI जो HDFC से रेट लेता है वो रेपो रेट. Credit position, credit position, credit position, credit position. Then I have savings of people, collect public data is also there. Okay, savings of people, savings of people. What else? I'll wait for another 10 seconds. Quickly answer the question. All scheduled banks are required to maintain certain minimum cash reserve ratio with the RBI. This provision enables RBI to ensure what? CRR का logic क्या है? CRR होता क्यों है? Is it for foreign exchange, credit proposition, savings of people, or collect public data? Right? 5 seconds more and then we will reveal the answer. 3, 2, and let me just refresh the chat. कहाँ चली गई? Okay. The correct answer is credit position of the people, credit position of the country. Of क्या है? This provision enables to create the credit position of the country. कितना loan, कितना पैसा country में होना चाहिए. Right, that is what it does. Great. I think we have 5 minutes. Let us touch upon what SEBI also does. Basic समझ लेते हैं, but we'll continue with SEBI and other small. SEBI थोड़ा सा लंबा है. Then आपका competition commission is very small. Then your insurance regulatories फटाफट से small. NABARD भी 15 minutes. So we will complete वो वाला all these in the next session, but let us quickly touch upon SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. You remember I told you about companies. Companies के अंदर private था और public था. Public के अंदर दो थी, listed and unlisted. Okay, unlisted companies थी and listed companies थी. Right? Listed companies वो है जिसमें general public ने share market के through पैसा डाला हुआ है. Listed companies are general public has put money in these companies through share market, through stock exchange. They have bought securities of the company, debentures खरीदे हैं, shares खरीदे हैं, equity share खरीदे हैं, preference share खरीदे हैं, bonus share खरीदे हैं, right? They have bought securities of the companies listed on the stock exchange. इस सब का ध्यान रखने के लिए, because public money है, because the money of the general public, because the money of the individual of the Indian country, which is a developing country, which needs to be controlled so that the businesses do not scam you, businesses do not do fraudulent activities, business do not misuse your money, business do not waste your money, your hard-earned money, drain में ना चला जाए. To control that, to regulate that, to create an environment for people. It is a non-funding government institution which is business facilitator. Chapter है business की help कैसे करता है? Business की help कैसे करता है? By creating an environment where first businesses feel कि हाँ हम बैंक से लोन नहीं लेंगे, we can go and take money from general public, right? We will go and take money from general public, right? It creates an environment where businesses can come to the stock exchange and say हमको IPO निकालना है, right? पेटीएम आईपीओ, जोमेटो आईपीओ, बोट का आईपीओ आ रहा है, एलआईसी का आईपीओ आना है, सिक्योरिटीज एंड लोन एक्सचेंज. इट्स एन एनवायरमेंट वेयर पीपल फील, वेयर businesses feel we can come and take money from the general public, right? And because it is the money of the general public, somebody needs to supervise that, somebody needs to take control of that, somebody needs to ensure कि भाई गलत काम मत करना, ये आम जनता का पैसा है. This is the money of the general public. Do not fool them, do not scam them. To check that, we have SEBI. अब when people feel safe कि अच्छा SEBI कंट्रोल कर रहा है, कुछ स्कैम ज्यादा नहीं होगा, कोई स्कैम नहीं होगा कंट्री में, so we can invest money in the stock market. It's a safe place. When the investor starts feeling that way, it's easier for businesses to take money from the general public. That is how it is facilitating businesses, right? That is how it is facilitating businesses. That is Security and Exchange Board of India, right? IPO, we have studied, Bala Sanjana, aapka IPO is initial public offering. I also had a question on IPO, right? Last time, if you were there, last question तुक्के में सही हो गया, एग्जाम में मत तुक्का मारना सर, वहां धोखा हो जाएगा. Okay, bank rate is the rate at which RBI lends to banks. No, page number 5.8. Like I'll have to check that. Bank rate is not wo, that is repo rate. Let me check that. आप कह रहे page number 5.8. ठीक है, I will check that एक बारी. And that is what SEBI does. The Securities and Exchange Board of India does, right? Okay, I think we are already at 1 p.m. I will not use more of your Saturday. बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसी bombardment हो गया today. A lot of concepts, right? We will start with SEBI in the next session. We will complete chapter number 5 in the next session, and then we will do chapter number 6 in the last session very quickly. Honestly, I will not take all the words that are there in chapter number 6. What I'll do is I will only do the word me or the vocabulary which I feel is very difficult, right? What I feel is more I need to explain. जो easy है वो skip कर देंगे. But if you still have anything, we'll take up from the chat. आपको कुछ और समझना होगा, any vocabulary that I miss, you want to understand, I will absolutely help you with that, right? But for now, last 2 minutes, let me spend with you. If you have any questions, if not, awesome. Thank you so much. If everything is understood, I'm happy that my examples, my thing is working for you. I hope so. I hope it's working, right? But we'll start with SEBI in the next session. Any questions so far? That's really kind of you, okay? Thank you so much, right? If the class is very helpful, that's the proper use of 2 hours of a Saturday, right? Bank average एक दिन में कितना कमा लेता है, right? Samir, very good. I would really wish you open a bank and you'll get to know. Be so ambitious कि मुझे बैंक खोल. Exactly. So, Misha, what happened is SEBI was actually created after those scams, right? SEBI देखो कब आया? आपका scam कब हुआ था? Scam 1992. Scam कब हुआ था? 1992 में हुआ था, right? हर्षद मेहता scam is 1992. अब ये देखो कब आया है? SEBI का एक्ट ही 1992 में आया. स्कैम की वजह से ही SEBI बना था. Now you will say कि यार SEBI था तो स्कैम कैसे हुआ? How did scam happen? अब डेट देखो, 1992 में SEBI आया था, right? Okay, great. Crystal clear. Okay, a portfolio investment in Indian stock market is a case of which type of investment? Very open-ended question. Which type of investment? मतलब? There are so many types of investment. Shiba, what is CRR? Certain percentage of your total deposits that the bank has, certain percentage it has to keep in cash form. उसको cash में रखना होता है. That is what CRR, right? So let's say 3% is. So if you have total deposits of 1,000 rupees, आपको 30 rupees आपको रखने हैं in cash form. That is what CRR is, right? ठीक है. So we'll continue with SEBI. Any questions that are left out, we'll take up those questions as well. CRR, SLR, if you still have any doubts. See, SLR, CRR ना chapter 6 में भी है. So if you still have doubts, we'll complete that. Otherwise तो उसी में फंस जाएंगे. right? You can refer to this YouTube that you will have this session. Go and see again SLR, CLR, you'll understand that. Probably एकदम से आप grasp नहीं कर पाओगे. If you want to see that, go on YouTube, see that again. We will, Pranjal, we'll do that. FII also, आपका chapter 6 में फिर से है. So we'll do that as well. Or you go to YouTube, look at the session again. Same cheese what I've explained, you will be able to revise that from there, right? Okay, so we will start with SEBI in the next session, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday, I think, right? So let's see you on Tuesday. We'll complete from this and then go on to chapter 6 and finish the syllabus, right? All right, guys, take care. Thank you so much for joining and have a wonderful Saturday.